Okay, hey guys. So I had gotten a couple of questions regarding adhesives and how best to adhere your prosthetic to yourself. Um, and they were all pretty similar. And I apologize to those. There's probably about 5 or 6 people that emailed me. I apologize to you guys for not responding sooner. I had everything being forwarded to an email address that I don't use anymore and didn't realize it. So I will be more responsive in the future. Anyhow, so as far as adhesives go, I mentioned this before, but whatever. So what I do is I buy my adhesive from factor2.com. That's FACTOR, the number 2, and .com. I started using this adhesive with the FTMprosthetic.com version, and I've continued using it with the Real Magic prosthetic, even though they recommend that you use the one that they have on their website, which of course they do. They know it works with that and whatever. So I've had my Real Magic prosthetic for over a year now. Not quite a year and a half, maybe a year and a half, I think. About a year and a half, I think. Anyway, and I haven't had any issues using this one from factor2.com. What I get is the BT460, which is super viscous, which holds on the best. Like the non-viscous ones, I have had no luck with them with either prosthetic. So I go with this. And so basically, what you want to do is, like it says, apply a light layer to the tab of your prosthetic. But you really do want to let it sit 2 to 3 minutes. I know it seems like a long time, and if you're not planning and whatnot, but such is the joy of being FTM, yes? But you really do want to let it dry for 2 or 3 minutes, because otherwise, if you don't and you adhere it to yourself too quickly, it'll definitely slide and it won't be as sticky. Even if you sit there and press it to yourself for 2 or 3 minutes, it's still not as sticky. You want to let it dry for 2 to 3 minutes, and then press it to yourself. And you want to hold it to yourself for about a minute. Yeah, for about a minute. Not a whole minute, but you just make sure it's there. And another thing that I have found is that what I do with because it's heavier than the FTMprosthetic.com one, the Real Magic prosthetic is a little heavier, so what I tend to do is leave just a little bit on in between uses. I mean, don't let it build up too much, definitely not. You want to make sure that you keep it clean for the most part. But if you've recently deglued it with the solvent, what you might want to do is go ahead and apply a thin layer, let it dry, and then apply another layer and let that dry. And it all depends on how much skin you have down there and all that stuff. And I also had someone asked the question if shaving your pubic region is the best way to go, and I would say yes. It's a pain in the ass. I know it can be itchy when it grows back, but it really does stick to your skin better without the hair there. I've noticed a big difference between shaving and not shaving with the adherence. And also, you don't have to shave the whole area, just the part where the tab covers. But then again, you might as well just, because otherwise it looks a little funny. But, do what you want. It's your junk, right? But anyway, so, again, if you... sorry guys. But yeah, I just want to stress again that you really do not want to let it build up too much. Like, don't go more than 3 or 4 days to a week without cleaning it, because it really can damage your prosthetic. It really can make it very difficult. And you always, again, want to use a solvent to clean up the back of your prosthetic or your skin. Because otherwise you'll just kind of rip it off, and you just don't want to damage it. So that's what I do, and I honestly have had absolutely no problems with it slipping or falling off. Everybody's skin is a different consistency as far as oiliness goes, dryness, how much you know, how big your junk area is, the pubic area. Some people are smaller, some people have more meat, less meat. It really just depends. And you want to experiment with it. But some basic, sorry, I have something in my eye, guys. But the basic rule to follow is definitely to allow it to dry for 2 to 3 minutes. The viscous medical adhesive is better for sure. I know the price tag comes with it. If you really can't afford the more viscous stuff, then I would apply a layer, let it dry. Apply another layer, let it dry. Maybe apply 3 to 4 layers of the thin stuff and just let it dry before you adhere it to your skin, and really make sure to press it in place. The only time I've had a problem with things slipping, I've never had anything fall off, but the only time I've had trouble with things slipping is when I'm in a super big hurry. I don't have any residue on the back of the tab. I throw the glue on. I don't let it dry. And plus, if you don't let it dry long enough, it burns. Man, it burns your skin really bad. Definitely let it dry for 2 to 3 minutes. And then also not adhering it, like not holding it in place for about 30 seconds to a minute. That is the only time I've had problems. But if you follow the basic rules of let the adhesive dry to the back of the tab, especially with the especially with the Real Magic prosthetic, go ahead and build up a little bit of a layer. Again, make sure you do clean it pretty often. I'm not saying never clean the back of it, because that just gets, one, it gets unhygienic, and two, it will ruin your prosthetic. Yeah, I mean, I think that's all the questions. If there is anything I missed, please go ahead and leave a comment or email me, and I promise I will actually reply in a timely manner this time. But that is about it for as far as the adhesive goes. Thanks, guys.